Today, St. Louis on Greenland, President Trump said the U.S. will have total access to the territory and get everything they want as he shared new details about the framework while heading back right here to D.C. tonight.
I think the trip was great. We had a lot of good response.
Response from the U.S. NATO framework on a future deal when it comes to Greenland.
Really a negotiation, but it's infinity. The time limit is infinity.
He maintains the country needs to acquire the Arctic islands, citing threats from China and Russia. As aboard Air Force One, the president was pressed on this.
Does it give U.S. control ownership of land?
Do whatever we want here.
It's Ken Harbaugh with the MeidasTouch Network. We'll be able to do whatever we want. That is President Trump's attitude towards Greenland. But let me tell you, the people I've spoken with in the short time I've been on the ground here have a very different perspective. I landed this morning. It is a stunningly beautiful country, but rugged. Those who live here are equally tough, as they must be to have carved a civilization out of the ice. Orla Jolson is a native Greenlander and one of our guides this week.
I've noticed in the short time that I've been here that there is a real sense of pride amongst the people living in Nuuk and amongst Greenlanders in your history, in your culture, in your resilience, in building a community here in this rugged landscape. Can you talk about the pride that you feel as Greenlanders?
We are very, very proud of our culture, and we are good people here in Greenland. We are only 57,000 people, and I think we all know each together because we are small community in Greenland, and we are proud of that.
That pride is evident everywhere. Donald Trump's go-to tactic of bullying and intimidation will not work here, but the damage it has already done to the bonds between the people of Greenland and the America they used to respect is incalculable. Orla is a friend of the U.S., but as welcoming as he has been to us, he describes what the Trump administration is doing as psychological warfare.
What do you want Americans to know about Greenland?
We are allies. We had friends in USA, and we will always have friends in USA. Always. And this threat from Trump need to stop now. I call it's a psychological warfare against the people of Greenland.
Yeah. One of my companions on this trip is likely a familiar face. Malcolm Nance is a previous guest on this show and a fellow Navy vet who followed that career with one in intelligence. He's one of America's leading experts on disinformation and great power competition. He's also been to Greenland before, and he understands the tactical challenges America would face should Donald Trump order an invasion. He warns that the groundwork is already being laid. I spoke with Malcolm in front of a building in downtown Nuuk that stands, if Malcolm is right, as an ominous portent of the Trump administration's intentions here.
So, Malcolm, we've been in Nuuk for barely a day.
Yeah.
But you've been here before. You know this place, Greenland, better than most Americans, certainly better than just about anyone in the current Trump administration.
That's for sure.
I just learned that our current presence in Nuuk, Greenland, the biggest city in Greenland, is one guy in a 275 square foot office.
Yeah.
And they are contemplating taking over this monstrosity behind us with 100 staffers. There's a reason for that.
Yeah, last year when I came here, this story broke that the American consulate, which is a small hut of 275 square feet, has 4 people in it, 2 of whom are local staffers, the consulate and the USAID officer, who I think was fired. And his vehicle sat outside for weeks. It might still be there. Not joking.
It's Ken Harbaugh with a quick break to tell you about something new. Battle Buddies is my latest weekly show where I try to find common ground with a conservative who I consider a true friend. David Bellavia, the only surviving Medal of Honor recipient from the war in Iraq. A Navy vet, an Army vet from opposite ends of the political spectrum, engaging in a civil conversation like we used to have. From the ICE immigration crackdowns to Trump's takeover of Venezuela, David and I take on the toughest issues of the day with genuine respect for each other, in spite of our very different perspectives. They're not always easy conversations, but they're always important, and that's something we need more of. Respectful dialogue between people who disagree, but who have figured out how to stay friends. Check out Battle Buddies today. 2 vets, 2 views, 1 nation. Find us on the Valor Media Network. The link's below. Thanks.
When Trump was saying they wanted Greenland in April, May of last year, that the U.S. had sought a lease on this building behind us, the first 2 floors, which totals somewhere around, between 35 and 50,000 square feet. And it was office space for 100 people. And of course, when I did my intelligence assessment, when I came here, my job was to come and see how would an invasion unfold? What is the terrain like? Culture, people, language, history. And then when I saw this building, my good friend Orla Jolson, who works in the building next to it, I said, this is an occupation headquarters. Yeah. This would be, I've been in it. I've seen inside. It's empty still. These first 2 floors would be not just the ambassadors or not just the consular officers' chambers. It would probably be the governor's headquarters. It would be everything associated, Department of Commerce, ICE, immigration, naturalization, because you would have to change everyone to U.S. passports, U.S. driver's licenses. This would become the occupation headquarters. And of course, it would be the first command post of whatever military force they drop here. There's just no way. And that is still on the table. They're saying they are closing the consulate and they are going to move the 2 consular officers here. This country doesn't need 1 consular officer. It could be done virtually.
Yeah.
But they also want to turn this into a trade center where they can bring up mining companies and all these people to Nook. It's right across the street from the Hans Ilya 5-star hotel, the only 5-star hotel that has all the amenities of Motel 6.
The one that we're not staying
right there, for $375 a night. And they would be right here. So barracks, occupation facility.
I'm sure the comparison hasn't escaped you, but I can't stop thinking of the Germans in the 30s picking out their offices in London.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. But the Americans, though, are putting a down payment on it. I mean, the Germans would have to have done Operation Sea Lion, right? You got to invade the country and actually make it there alive. And in the Battle of Britain, you burned it to the ground. This is a contract. And they are intending to sign a contract and bring all of these good guys here, the people who want to bring dialogue to Greenland. They have no intention of doing dialogue. This is an occupation headquarters. Even if it's soft occupation, Trump hasn't figured out that he's been conned, essentially, by Rutte. The government of Greenland and Denmark have nothing to do with what was promised at Davos. And when he figures that out, his intent, well, he's already going back with the Penguins, right? And he will be very upset. But you can't even look at this facility and not understand that this is going to be the center of American power in their minds for a future United States territory.
Whatever was promised in Davos, and we don't know, but whatever was offered to Trump there did not come in consultation with the people living here. We know that for certain, and that was driven home today in every conversation we had. The thing that most stuck with me, though, was listening to Greenlanders talk about their preparations and the fact that they received instructions from the government to be ready for an invasion, essentially, to prepare for 5 days off the grid on their own.
Of food, and candles, all that.
Running out in local stores.
It's back up, but it's
because
for a while
they are preparing to fight if they have to.
Yeah.
And that's not an idle threat. We're talking about a nation of 57,000 with 35,000 long rifles
Yes.
and a population that can hunt at sea and take out a swimming seal from a bobbing boat at 200
swimming
meters.
seal. They can take out an 800-pound caribou or a 1,000-pound muskox. Okay? They have very good weapons here. And they're long-distance shooting weapons. These aren't AR platforms, right?
Yeah.
You're going to be dealing with a country of snipers. This is a city of 17,000 people. I would estimate that there's at least 8,000 long rifles, and they're mainly in apartment complexes, right? So if someone were to come here and people were to start opening fire with shooting at 500, 600 meters, and you return fire, you're going to kill civilians. And these people, you know what? Even though that talk happened at Davos, this city's terrified.
Yeah.
And when the power went out yesterday, everyone went into a complete panic because they thought it was like Venezuela, right? They knocked the power grid down beforehand, and then airborne troops come to the airport, seize the airport, and then do battle with the light infantry company or the ships in the harbor.
Yeah.
It's a possible scenario.
That was an accidental power outage. Well,
Right.
one that was precipitated by a weather event, but talking to people about I wouldn't say their panic in that moment, but the thought that this was the leading edge of an American invasion, and contrasting
Everyone thought it.
contrasting that with how they felt about America just a year ago, 2 years ago. It's one of the most humiliating experiences as an American that I've had.
Yeah, I mean, I came here a year ago, and I was on national TV here. I was on national radio. I was in the newspaper, Danish television. American spy good American spy comes to Greenland, and since Matthew Henson, the first man on the North Pole, was African American, and I met his family, everybody's there like, that's a good guy. But they were like, but what about the rest of these assholes? What's going on? Back then, there was a lot of goodwill. Now they hate us.
Yeah. Well, we're going to leave it there for now, but we're certainly not going to end on that note because we're here for a few more days.
Yeah.
We're talking to Greenlanders. We're talking to Danes. We've talked to a few Americans. We're going to put out a clip of an American we met at the coastline.
The Green guy.
Yeah, who just showed up here as a gesture of goodwill to deliver a peace offering of, what was it, maple syrup to the Prime Minister of Greenland. Lots more to come. Thanks, Malcolm.
My pleasure.
We'll be checking in often.
All right.
We've got lots more coverage coming. I'll try to get a Substack post out soon. Please make sure you're subscribed at the link below, and keep watching here for more updates from the ground in Greenland. Thanks.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.